And we're back. Hi. This will be take, I don't know, 574 of the voiceover for this video. I'm uploading 2 videos today. Oh, here. What I'm doing right now is I am sanding the Dixie Belle mud that I used in prep and then using a tack cloth to get rid of all the little, you can see all the little dust and debris that happened down there. I'm just using a tack cloth and a quick sanding block to get rid of those things. So yes, I am going to be uploading 2 videos today. One of them is going to be a more traditional video where I spoke while I worked. And then this one is a whole bunch of different clips sped up, and I'm going to try to talk now. So it took me a little while to understand the technical aspects of putting a voiceover into a video. This is going to be my final take. Whatever happens now, that's what's happening. So if I say a lot, if I say just whatever, it's going up. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we are doing the base coat, and it's going on really, really well. You'll notice I go back and forth with my brush. This helps with brush strokes. Up here towards the top where the mud was, you can see a bit of bleed through. That's because what happened originally was I made a slight mistake and I used a brush that was wetter than it needed to be. I thought it had dried, but it was not dry enough. And you'll notice in the very, very beginning of this video, I wiped it off with a shop towel and then continued. Yeah, so what ended up happening was you reactivate Dixie Belle mud if you use water, which is fine. That's actually one of the things I like the most about it. With traditional wood filler, it doesn't reactivate. If you mess it up, you can't fix it. But with Dixie Belle mud, you can actually fix it. So I love that with water, but sometimes it backfires, and it did backfire a little bit for me. That's okay, we fix it in a little bit. So here we are painting, and I'm using different strokes to different brush strokes. I'm not going in just one direction. You'll notice up and down, side to side, even diagonally. This minimizes brush strokes, and it works very, very well with all different types of paint. I'm using my mister very, 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 very sparingly. The Dixie Belle Silk doesn't really need, the only reason why I use it is to make sure that the paint doesn't dry on my brush. That'll just make my brush not be as soft and as smooth. And it also helps, if you're starting to, and I'm dabbing there, you'll notice I dab a bit. Whenever I put new paint on my brush, I dab it on the different drawers and then I follow it through. That prevents there being glue between the drawers. That's important, at least to me. All right, so yeah, painting. I love that. I love how funny it is watching myself paint. I can't help but laugh, like, look how serious I am. Oh my gosh, so serious. It is very serious business, painting. So I did the one side and then I realized, oh, maybe I should turn that to the viewer and let them see the side. So I did that. And you'll notice you're watching all the different brush strokes. This is how I minimize the brush strokes. This is a very good, this big area, so you can see how I minimize the brush strokes. And you'll see I'm always building off what I already have. And whenever I need to add a little bit of paint, that's fine. Whenever I need to mist, that's fine. And right there, I'm smoothing out all the brush strokes. And it's a really amazing coverage for a base coat. Normally with white on oak, like golden oak like this, you have to do it a lot. You have to do a lot of coats, but this is fine. So now we're on coat number 2, and you can see how it dried. It leveled a bit, and you can still see some of the brush strokes. So if that's something that you wanted to include, you totally could, but I didn't. I wanted a nice, flat, smooth, white, oyster-colored base coat. So here we are, making that happen. And you can see I dab the middle of the drawers each time that I put paint on my brush. Again, this is so that you don't gloop inside the drawers. Now, I don't leave the drawers in the entire time. Towards the end of this video, you'll see how I take them out and mask the edges, the sides, and finish it up. That's the finishing touches phase. But right now, one of the reasons why I left the drawers in at first is because there will be a blend that goes on top of this base coat, and I just wanted to make sure that the base coat for the blend was as even and smooth as is possible. And it's helpful just to leave the drawers in order to accomplish that, at least for me. So painting, painting, painting. Now I'm taking the drawers out, and you're going to see the first part of the final phase. And this is just because I just want to make sure that there's no definitive line where the drawer used to be. So I pulled out that bottom drawer, and I'm just doing this real fast. You'll see in a minute how I finish it all off. But yeah. Now we're going to work on the sides a little bit. And we're painting, painting, painting. I actually really enjoy watching myself. This is more fun for me, watching myself work really quickly than seeing myself work at normal speed. I don't know. It's just funny to me. Like, look, I'm even laughing at the time because I'm thinking about how funny it's going to look. Hi. I look so serious. I really need to dye my hair. Hopefully soon I will do that, dye my hair. There we go. See, I'm happy with that, and I'm just smoothing everything out. And now we're going to work on the detail phase. Bye. All right, so I put this graphic back in because I just wanted to let you guys know that this is the next day. So I have masked out the drawers. And what I'm doing right there is I'm just burnishing it down with my fingernail. There's a lot of different things. I have fingernails, so that's what I use. But you can use a burnishing tool. You can use the flat side of a screwdriver. Like, I mean, you can use whatever you want to make sure. There's no point in masking, though, if you're not going to, like, get it all the way down. So I just make sure to go over it with my fingernail before I start painting. Now, as I'm painting, I'm not using any water whatsoever. I'm using a detail brush and a combination of masking and a steady hand. See right there, there's a little bit of a bloop on the green velvet. I left that there for a reason. So I did make a mistake and I did get a little bit of a drip there. I left that there for a reason though, and I'm letting you guys see it for a reason because later on I'm going to show you how to get rid of it. So here we are. We're just painting and painting. And again, no water whatsoever. One of the reasons why you don't want to use water when you're masking is that the masking tape, it'll bleed right underneath it. So no water whatsoever, just base paint. And you can see that I'm making sure that there's no bloops. Whenever you paint corners, there's a potential for you to like leave a little bloop of paint on the other part of the corner based on like not where you're painting, but the other side. So what I do is I just make sure to bring that through and make sure it's part of the coat. So I'm doing this without masking. One of the, voiceover work is hard. I'm exhausted. This is literally the 25th time that I've done this. I don't know, maybe it's actually the 15th, but I had a lot of technical problems at first. Anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm just painting this with a steady hand because what I can do if I make a mistake is just sand it away. Now you can mask all that out if you want to, but why make extra work for yourself if it's not necessary? You can just sand it away with almost no effort whatsoever if you make a mistake. So here I am doing that. And then we're going to do one more drawer. And the other 4 I did off camera. Okay. So we're happy with that. We're happy with that. We're going to move this one drawer and start work on the other. Okay. So we start here and we just use a steady, steady hand. Okay. And then we're painting and we're painting. And I did get some bloops over the side of the drawer. You'll see what I do with them at the end. So we're painting. Just make sure that you get all the little details. Be careful. Paint, paint, paint. Do, 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 do. I love how fast this is. It's like I wish painting took this amount of time. Okay, so now that we're done with that, you'll see that I pull it in and I make sure that all the details are done. I get it into the little corners. I use the paint. And then we're done. So then I did all 4 drawers and yeah. So that's basically this video. Whatever hot mess this voiceover is, this is what's going online. I will get better at this, I promise. But anyway, I'm going to link the other video that I'm uploading today along with this video. And you guys have to tell me in the comments which one you think is better. All right, have a great night. See you next time.